Imagine reality as a holographic projection, not just an image, but a blueprint of existence itself, encoded in light. In quantum information holography, or QIH, the entire universe is like a 3D lithographic print where light waves interfere to form everything we see, from atoms to galaxies. But what makes this possible? Quantum state vectors, or QSVs, the fundamental building blocks of reality, are spinning at the speed of light, constantly interacting to create the world around us. Each QSV represents an angular frequency in Hilbert space, where reality itself is not static but a continuous summation of all possible quantum paths, each encoded as a wave of probability. In QAH, reality is built from qubits, which are like tiny quantum pixels. But unlike digital pixels, qubits don't just switch between 0 and 1. They exist in a wave-like state of probabilities.
Now, how do you explain the multiverse to an average person? I once asked Steve Weinberg, Nobel laureate, to explain the multiverse in a simple way. And he said, well, look, take a look at radio. If you walk into your living room, how many radio stations are there in your living room? Hundreds of radio stations, right? But your radio is only tuned to one frequency, okay? It resonates at one frequency, and that's why you hear only one station. But how many stations are there in principle in your living room? Hundreds of vibrations, okay? Now replace the radio with electrons. The electron is a wave governed by quantum mechanics, okay? And how many waves are there of these electrons? An infinite number of waves, just like infinite number of radio waves. But you are tuned to one frequency. That's why you exist with parallel universes. In your living room, there are dinosaurs. In your living room, there are pirates. In your living room, there are aliens. You don't have to go into outer space to see the aliens. The aliens are there right there in your living room. And so the goal of physics, we believe, is to find an equation, perhaps no more than 1 inch long, which will allow us to unify all the forces of nature and allow us to read the mind of God. And what is the key to that 1 inch equation? Supersymmetry. A symmetry that comes out of physics, not mathematics, and has shocked the world of mathematics. But you see, all this is pure mathematics. And so the final resolution could be that God is a mathematician. And when you read the mind of God, we actually have a candidate for the mind of God. The mind of God, we believe, is cosmic music, the music of strings resonating through 11-dimensional hyperspace. That is the mind of God.
به نظر میاد جهانهای موازی اثبات شدن. اخیراً گوگل از پردازنده کوانتومی خودش به نام ویل رو نمایی کرده و یه محاسبه فوق‌العاده پیچیده رو توی 5 دقیقه انجام داد که واسه بهترین ابر کامپیوترهای جهان 10 سپتیلیون سال طول میکشید. اگه درکش سخته باید بگم این 700 برابر طولانی‌تر از عمر کل کیهانه. دانشمندا باور دارن این پردازنده به این سرعت رسیده چون محاسبات رو همزمان در جهانهای موازی دیگه انجام داده. یعنی پردازش‌ها رو بین خطهای زمانی دیگه پخش کرده و خودش به خودش در واقعیت‌های موازی کمک کرده. تازه مدیر ارشد تحقیقات کوانتومی گوگل گفته فناوری پردازش کوانتومی اولین فناوریه که به طور جدی داره به فرضیه چند جهانی میپردازه.
If you travel close to the speed of light, so if you had a spacecraft traveling close to the speed of light, then distances shrink from your perspective. The one number I always have in my mind is at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, the protons go around a ring which is 27 kilometers in circumference, and they go around at 99.999999% the speed of light, so close to the speed of light. At that speed, distances shrink by a factor of 7,000, and so that ring is something like 4 meters in diameter to the protons.
Whoa.
So according to laws of physics, if you can build a spacecraft that goes very close to the speed of light, you can shrink the distance to the Andromeda Galaxy. And so you could traverse across that distance in principle in a minute, according to physics. However, the downside is that if you came back to the Earth at that speed to tell everybody what you'd found, at least 4 million years would have passed on the Earth.
Oh boy.
So we could, in principle, explore the galaxy and beyond, but getting to chat to everybody about what you found is forbidden.
Wow.
By the structure of the universe, just the way that relativity works.
Nobody has ever proven that the electron exists. No one has ever observed an electron.
You're right, we don't really know what an electron is at a fundamental level. So we assume there are things called electrons, even though we don't really know what they are or how big they are. The description of an electron is, if you're sat in a room now and you're enclosed in a room and you put the electron in the room, then the actual description of it is that it fills the room.
But a particle is a physical object.
Yeah, it's because the word particle suggests grain of sand, doesn't it? A little thing that's made of something. And the real description, the deepest description we have of things like electrons are what's called fields, which are things that fill a lot of space. So there's a thing called quantum field theory, which is the best description we have of things like electrons.
This is it, an EUV, or extreme ultraviolet lithography system. It is likely the most complicated machine humans have ever built. The school bus-sized machine comprises 100,000 parts and weighs nearly 200 tons. So what exactly does this EUV machine do? Chip manufacturers use lithography machines to project circuit patterns onto silicon wafers. For decades, they have kept shortening the wavelengths of light on lithography machines to print features for ever smaller transistors, and water immersion lithography to get the most out of today's 193 nanometer wavelength light. But to make transistors even tinier, the industry needs lithography machines that use radically shorter wavelengths. This EUV machine produces light at 13.5 nanometers. Compared to today's machines, that wavelength is more than 10 times smaller. So how does this machine work? Put on your best thinking cap, and I will try to explain it simply. First, extreme ultraviolet light does not exist naturally on Earth, so we have to generate it. Because this tool is so large, it needs 3 floors in the fab. Its laser, about 15 times more powerful than ones used to cut steel, sits in the level below the clean room. A beam transport transmits the laser pulse up a floor into the EUV machine, where a generator fires tiny droplets of metal tin, each droplet only about 1/3 the diameter of a human hair.
I'm in a clean room right now in Northern California with the world's largest digital camera. Now, this camera right here cost about $6,000. This one behind me, $168 million. And it took 5 years to construct. After passing through the lens, the light hits one or more of 6 filters, each optimized to collect light from a specific range in the spectrum, from ultraviolet to near infrared. Once the light is filtered, it hits the focal plane, which captures the image. The focal plane is made up of 189 individual sensors, blocked together in groups of 9 to form what's called a raft. This 3,200 megapixel camera is so powerful, it can spot a golf ball 15 miles away.
We also found something to this day. There's not one scientist that can figure it out.
Really?
We think it's a wormhole.
What?
Yes.
So you saw something go in it?
No, come out of it.
Oh, come out of it.
And not just one, multiple things.
Whoa.
Some sort of cloud, we don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
That opens and closes, and multiple objects coming out of it.
Crazy.
Yes. And also what we did to make it very scientific is we triangulated. So we had cameras on the coast of California, and across in Catalina Island, and a third location.
Wow.
So from 3 locations, we were capturing data.
That's crazy.
I know. And then we had radar validate the cameras exactly in that location, showing these objects come out of that hole. We don't know what it is, so we're calling it a wormhole. They're able to read, they're able to play ping pong, ride a bike. I mean, insane stuff.
Is that because of frequencies, being able to feel it?
It's several techniques being used. Different groups use different techniques, but they all get to the same result.
Yellow, blue, yellow, orange, blue, green.
Scientifically measuring the amount of light inside the mask to show that there's 0 light. So technically you're not supposed to see without light. Basically you're asking your brain to control your vision.
So your brain can see.
Well, actually, you don't see with your eyes, you see with your brain.
Really?
Yes, it's your brain. I mean, the eyes are just the receptor, it's like the optical lens.
Got it.
But Actually, vision is controlled by the brain.
Wow.
So if there is no light, technically you're not supposed to see because there's no reflection on objects. And yet, with that training, you can see completely blindfolded in the dark.
یه دانشمند آلمانی هست به اسم کنستانتین مایل که نشون داده دی ان ای انسان مثل یک گیرنده است. این توانایی رو داره که با امواج اسکالر اطلاعات رو توی کل جهان منتقل کنه. چون برای اونایی که میدونن امواج اسکالر چیه، از اجسام فیزیکی رد میشه. هیچی نمیتونه جلوی امواج اسکالر رو بگیره. پس وقتی فکری میکنی، این پتانسیل رو داره که کل جهان رو طی کنه و برگرده. این دیوونه کننده نیست؟ سریعتر از نور، چون از امواج خطی معمولی رد نمیشه. وقتی به این پتانسیل فکر میکنی، از همه کارهایی که میتونی بکنی هیجان انگیزتره. یعنی میتونی از هر جای جهان فوری اطلاعات بگیری و تو مغزت ترجمه کنی و هر چی میخوایی بسازی. این به نظرم انسان نهایی آینده است.